Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamathyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So we saw the whole lot of arguments in Naishkarmya siddhi about how the whole thing is meant for karma, not for jnanam. Okay. The 21st verse we saw last time. Any questions, clarification until then? Since we had a 2-week break, some of you may have thought about it. Or after 2 weeks opening the book now. So, okay. No questions? Okay. The whole thrust of the argument was karmanat moksha na jnanena. There is no pramana bhava and no this thing for knowledge. Amnaya se kriyartatvat anarthakyam adatarthanam. That was the basis for the whole thing. Okay. Now, from this verse onwards, 22nd onwards, Sureshwara is refuting them. Okay. Systematically refuting all the arguments. But in the beginning, he can't help but take a dig at them. Okay. All right. He says, Asadartha pralapaha ayamiti dushpurna sambhavat tyaha. He says, this is all asadartha pralapaha. This is some prattlings, he says. Asadartha. No true meaning in it. It is just prattling. And everything is going to be refuted. Okay. Then he says, Iti drishtadhiyam vachaha swaprajnadhamata chetasam dhushante yajnasalashu dhuman dhyam khilaha dhuman adhyam khilaha iti drishtadhiyam vachaha. Okay. This type of speech, drishtadhiyam, there is no thought behind it. He says, swaprajna adhamata chetasam. Okay. Who are satisfied with their own conjectures, not bothered to check up their own conclusions. Such people. Bhushante yajna shalasu. We'll hear this in all the yajna shala, the places where all the yajnas happen. Dhuma dhyam khilaha, because the smoke from the yajna shala has obstructed their vision of the truth. He can't but help criticize the karmatas. And I have found this in life as well. If you are a committed karmata, very, very difficult for such a person to gain knowledge. See, a charvaka knows, khao piyo maja karo, that is all. There will be a time when he gets fed up of that. For the karmata, there is a sense of superiority. I am doing the right things. I am worshipping God. I am invoking all the devatas. Without really understanding the thrust of the Shastra. That is a dangerous combination. You don't have a clue what moksha is about, nor are you interested in that. At the same time, there is a sense of superiority because you know some of the karmas. And this is brought out from my experience also. I have seen so many karmatas. I mean, I teach in Shankaramatam. Only nobody from Shankaramatam who is a karmata will ever come to my class. They will proudly claim it in their annual report. We have Shankara Bhashya being taught in Shankara Matam, all that they will say. And class में कोई आएगा? Why? Because of this. This a sense of superiority and arrogance. They say knowledge makes you arrogant. If there is real knowledge, I'm not even talking about Vedanta Jnana. A man who's into knowing knows the limitation of his knowledge. Karma is directly connected with ahankara. Because ahankara that does the karma. Therefore, the chances of you going more arrogant is because of karma. Now, there is bhakti supposed to make you humble. A sense of surrender. Rare is a karmata that I have seen who has that sense of surrender. And Sureshwara echoes the same thing. Now, if a student of Vedanta is doing some karma, that's a different thing. He'll have a sense of humility, etc. He'll have a sense of surrender because prasada buddhi, etc. is there. Ishvara arpanam is there. Karmata doesn't have that. Very few have it. There are some. It's not a general rule that all of them are like that. No. But predominantly I have seen this happening. And Sureshwara is echoing the same thing. Your vision is covered with the smoke from the Yajnashala. And Yajnashala means there must be smoke. Why? All the impurities in you are supposed to be smoked out. The negativities in you are supposed to be smoked out. In fact, ask the karmata. See, I have seen Pandits who will basically lead a life of karma, but they are scholarly. In Sanskrit, they have studied things. Tell them you are no more interested in Nirguna Brahman rather than Saguna Brahman. No, hold on to Saguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman will happen by itself. The core of Saguna Brahman is Nirguna. Some of this will come out in the camp. The topic is you, world and God. Okay? No text. Free flowing. So, that's what Sureshwara, he can't help but have a dig at them. Okay. Then, answering the arguments, he starts. Okay. Doshana upakrama vadisha nam aha. Okay. Now we are criticizing the Purvapaksha, a critical appreciation of the Purvapaksha. Let us look at what. Atra abhidhyamahe doshan kramashah nyaya bhrumhitaihi vachovi Purvapakshati dhatim abhimanat sambhavat.
So which verse is it?
That's why I'm saying people have not opened the book for the last 2 weeks. This 23rd verse.
No, you opened 23.
Verse 23.
22 is done.
23 is done.
Okay.
23. Okay. He said, Atra abhidhamahe. Now I will speak, he says, doshan, of the faults of the Purvapaksha. Kramashaha, one by one. But not just criticize them. Because he said the first was all Dhumavrutam. Because he said that, no. But Nyaya Brunghitehi. Logically, I'll answer all of them. Okay. Vachovi Purvapakshauti. All the Purvapakshauti. Okay. Gati bhihi Anitya Sambramad. Okay. So all the defects of the Purvapakshauti I will explain away, he says. Not just be critical of them, but Nyaya Brahma. Logically I'll explain it. Remember, any system you can dismiss with a joke. An argument can be dismissed with a joke. But that is dismissal, not answering. You have not answered the thing. Okay. A Purvapaksha has to be answered logically. Once you have answered logically, a dismissal by a joke is okay. Or you dismiss by a joke and then you explain it logically, like how he is doing it here. But that logical answering is necessary. Otherwise, the Purvavaksha can remain as a doubt in your mind. Maybe there is some truth in it. इतना साल पढ़ा यार, कुछ होया नहीं है. Maybe I should do something. I see many students of Vedanta also falling for this. So they'll come to a teacher and say, and the teacher will say, yeah, it's good to do some japa, something small they will do. Then they'll do that. Then they'll do something else. Then they'll add this, they'll add that. Finally, they're halfway to being a karmata anyway. Why? Because karma has a way of involving. Na? Any karma has a way of involving. We said, yeah, I'm getting older, some health, etc. Put on weight, this, that, not good. Let me join a gym. Okay. So either your enthusiasm will peter off in the first week. That happens like your New Year resolutions. January is a very good month for the gym owners. Why? A lot of people join up. And they'll take left, right and center, whether not bothered whether there is space in the gym or not. Why? They know by end of Jan, 80% of them have dropped out. They got the fees. Minimum 3 months fees, 6 months fees, 1 year fees they got. Characters are not going to turn up. Or the committed ones start. I can't go every day, I'll go 2 days a week. Then they'll find 2 days a week I'm not exercising enough here. 3 days a week, then 4 days, then 5 days, then 6 days. Why? It will involve you. Any karma is like that. Any karma is involving. Can drag you in. So with your religious sadhana also you have to be careful. Of course, most of my students no problems. कुछ करता ही नहीं है. But those who are doing, be careful. Okay? I joke, you're channeling your inner Brahmana. You started with small japa, this, that, etc. And now you are ending up with 1 hour every day. Okay, Baba, put a limit there. Then I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. That's how it is. Ekadashi Vishnu Sahasranama chanting. Group में. Very good. कर लो. Ekadashi is once or twice a month only. No? After that, every Thursday I will do. Good. Achha. Then every day I will do. Good. Achha. Then Friday I will do Lalita Sahasranam. Good. Achha. Then I'm not doing anything about Lakshmi. वो भी ऐड करेगा. Then I'm only worshipping this. Keep on adding. Where will you stop? You will decide. Why am I saying this? There was this, Kerala had some saints. This person had 10 sons. Okay. And this guy would abandon every son. And every son grew up to be great scholars, mystics, in their own way. So the one son he didn't abandon became a pandita. And the first son he abandoned became a vice person. But he would teach in his own way. So this abandoned son came to the other son's house. Says, I will do Shiva Puja and come. Okay, in the name of Shiva Puja, I will dig a well for you. Started digging a well. After some time he came up. I'll do Vishnu Puja and come. Oh, I'll dig another. He started digging another. I'll do Devi Puja and come after some time. He started digging another well. So then he finished everything and came out. He found 3 holes in his compound. He said, what have you done to my compound? He said, if you had stuck to one in that 3 hours, I would have finished the well for you. Are you all getting the message? How do you have to explain?
That.
Got it? If you not got it, ask me later. Or you can start digging wells.
Swamiji,
Yeah?
you have to dig in one place for a longer period of time, then you will get the water.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Therefore, all this thing, I will answer logically, he says. Now, how is he answering? Here it is. Chaturvidhasyapi karma karyasya mukta avasana asambhavat muktehe karma akaryatvam. Okay. Ajnanahana matratvat muktehe karmana sadhanam karma paramashtim najnanam tamasivo tam tamaha. He says chaturvidasyapi karma karyasya muktau asambhavat na muktehe karma karyatvam. Karma karyatvam na muktehe. Mukti is not karma karyam. Why? Chaturvidaha api karyasya na muktehe sambhavat. If there has to be moksha, it has to be eternal. There is nothing like finite moksha. Finite moksha is what? Cold drink on a hot day. Or क्या? Temporary. मजा आया. It's nice raining outside यार, चाय पकोड़ा खा लो. This is temporary moksha. Because if the moksha by its very definition, free from all sense of limitation, etc., it cannot be karma karyam, because karma karyam is fourfold. याद है क्या क्या है? उत्पत्ति, creation, karma karyam, utpatti, to create something. If moksha is created, it becomes finite, bound by time and place. Or modification, vikaryam. Anything modified is again finite. Okay. Purification. Atma is nitya shuddha, doesn't require purification. Or reaching. Atma is yourself, there's nothing to be reached. Heaven has to be reached. So heaven is here, not here, finite again. Therefore, all the 4 karmana phalam or karyam is by very nature something that is finite. And moksha cannot be presented as something finite. So it is important to understand that. Okay? If moksha is finite, then you will have anirmoksha prasanga. That's like a country's freedom. Free today, but you can be bound tomorrow. It ceases to exist tomorrow. The countries that I visited during my sailing days don't exist nowadays. They split up into smaller countries. Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, all that, where those countries don't exist anymore. Yeah. So, moksha means it has to be eternal. Otherwise, any other freedom is finite. That's why the people will say eternal vigilance is the price of freedom, etc. Yeah, in the finite world, yes. Only an idiot will say. Of course, we had idiots ruling this country anyway. Why do we need an army? We only need a police force. The first Prime Minister of this country was idiotic enough to make that statement. Okay, that we don't need an army. Can you imagine making a statement like that? अभी free हो गया ना? And then 62 China decided to walk in. We had a ragtag army because of which we could hold something. So, finite freedom is like that. You can be free today, bound tomorrow. And if freedom has to be eternal, it cannot be karma karyam. Because karma karyam is fourfold and all fourfold results are limited. Alright, then what? Okay. He says, Ajnana hana matratvad muktehe. Therefore, mukti is what? Has to be eternal. If it is to be eternal, I have to be already free. And if I am free, why am I feeling bound? So the whole question, searching for the 10th man, etc. Ignorance is a problem. Self-ignorance is a problem. If self-ignorance is a problem, then knowledge is necessary. Ajnana hana matratvat. He says, mukte karmana sadhanam. Karma cannot become a sadhanam for that. Why? Karma apamrishtihim na ajnanam. Karma cannot negate ajnanam. Why? He says, something that is born of tamas, tamasi uttam, okay, uttitam tamaha. Something born after darkness cannot negate darkness. In the darkness, I mistook a rope for a snake. Something which is born out of darkness, the snake, can it negate the darkness? All karma is born out of ignorance. All karma. Laukikam Vedikam va. Yam adhyasam puraskritya sarve pramana vyahara. Remember that? Adhyasa bhashya. That's why it's good to study Naishkarmya after all that. Why? Because then you know certain things can be taken as given. Yeah. So, that is where the whole thing goes. That because I don't know myself, I have a self-judgment, I have a concept of myself. That concept is born from where? Ajnanam plus what? Plus a million other things. Okay. Adhyasa is a simple catch-all term. Okay. It's a term that covers everything. But each one of us, ahankara is shaped. No? First and foremost, your family upbringing, culture, heritage, nationality, social conditions, environment, even your birth order matters in shaping up what you are, your ahankara. How you were treated. Then, with the samskaras you brought down from your previous lifetime. All this because of what? I don't know myself. This is ajnanam karyam. And any concept of myself will definitely be a finite concept. Nobody is going to say I am limitless. If somebody who has got ahankara says I am limitless, like Nishay said, that's only ahankara asserting itself. It's some sense of superiority, etc. That is not knowledge. That's not wisdom. That's a problem of ahankara. Narcissism was a result of that. So, any ahankara will be finite. However, sense of entitlement, etc., it has, it will be a finite. Like this kid, this person decided, this is one of Swamiji's devotees. But who said all devotees are intelligent just because they come to Swamiji? He decided. First 5 years you have to teach your child, treat your child as God. No? Will not be disciplined at all. He invited us home and he told this to Swamiji. Swamiji, this is how I am bringing up a child. And sometimes when Swamiji didn't want to refute it directly, no, he'll look at me. What do you think? Because he knows I won't mince words. When he asks, I will not mince words. Otherwise I will keep quiet. So I said, some of the chance of bringing up an entitled brat are high. The devotee was not happy with that answer. And the kid, why did I say it? Because I saw the signs in that kid of becoming a brat, no disciplining. No. Luckily for the child, when it went to school, he was whacked by all the teachers. Not just punished, whacked by all the teachers. So thoda came in line. So I met him after as a teenager, etc. is okay, normal. Thank God, I said. Oh, capital punishment is bad. Reva de. So, ahankara, finite, entitlement. However entitled you are, finite. Therefore, are you happy with that finitude? No ahankara is happy with the sense of finitude. No ahankara. Whether that ahankara belongs to a human being or a dog. Not happy with finitude. Therefore, how would you get rid of finitude? Ragadvesha, because remember you are connected, your idea is I am the body only. I am the body and the roles that I play with this body. Therefore, in everything there will be Ragadvesha. From Ragadvesha comes karma. Ajnanam, ahankara, sense of finitude, Ragadvesha's karma. So karma is so much removed. How can that karma, he says, destroy the source ajnanam? Karma is a product of ajnanam. Then the problem is how much people misunderstand. The moment I say this, oh, that means the wise man doesn't act. Can you see the corollary is not always true? Yeah, the Atma doesn't act. True. I don't act. True. Prakriti acts. Oh, Prakriti, Mother Nature acts. Prakriti, body, mind, okay. Not Mother Nature. What are you, a homeopath or what? Asking for mother tincture. Karmani akarmaya pashyet. So, couldn't put it better than the Gita. You can never forget the Gita and all this. Wise person's action is that. Karmani akarmaya pashyet. Pashvadi vishya visheshad ityadi. Okay, by all this is clear what the wise person's action is. But here, when we are talking of removing ignorance, karma which is born of ignorance cannot negate ignorance. Therefore, karma can never be directly responsible for knowledge. Karma can bring you to a pramana, with the pramana that gives you knowledge. Yeah, so the karma will do what? Bring you to the pramana, bring you to the class, bring you to the learning. That much it can do. Nothing more than that. Otherwise, we'll have to have this andha bhakti. नाम जपते रहो काम करते रहो दया आएंगे उनको कभी ना कभी दास पावेगे दर्शन कभी ना कभी. You can spend the next 80 years like that. God is thinking, idiot, इतना गुरु भेजा है इनको. When my compassion, I send so many gurus to him, the guy is not learning. The guy is not learning, then what to do? Next lifetime. That is the problem of karma. Product of ajnana cannot negate ajnana. So two major arguments he has given here. One, looking at it from karma phala angle. Second, looking at how the birth of karma itself is. That is why the ahankara is strengthened by karma. Simple, I won't strengthen my ahankara, I won't do. Then either you will feel beggarly, which is also a strong ahankara. Feeling beggarly is strong ahankara. Or feel superior, which is worse. Or be a karmata and say, I have to do only religious action. That's the most important thing in life. Feeling superior then. Now I am going to make a social comment here, because that's part of the understanding. How come where Brahminical movements were high, communism or anti-Brahmin movements came in the same state? We can blame Christian missionaries, all that. Up to a point it is true. But where was the groundwork laid? See, for a foreign idea or a missionary idea to come and sow some negative seeds, there has to be some sort of ground available. No? Where the maximum anti-religious movement came up, either in the form of communism or DMK, etc. Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. The Brahmin culture was very high and it deteriorated into superiority. Two reasons. One, the Brahmins were educated, therefore they went into service of the British, therefore feeling more superior. Plus they are keeping the karma going, more superior. All the three states, if you look at it, this is what happened. So they were targeted then. Now we are cribbing about it. Yeah, now the targeting is not fair. But even now they behave like that. Many families I know behave like that. Many families, I know behave. To an extent even UP. To an extent even UP, yeah. That's why all the movements like Mayavati, Akhilesh, all those things came up there. Why didn't it come up in Maharashtra? Because people like Veer Savarkar, etc., were in the forefront of the freedom movement. He was the first person to advocate intercaste marriages in Maharashtra. That's social comment. Okay? Sometimes it's important to make a social comment, therefore I'm making it. Not part of Naishkarmya siddhi. Okay? That's my personal opinion. Back to the thing. Therefore, karma, which is a product of jnana, will only strengthen the ahankara. And the ahankara gets strengthened even if you feel, oh my God, I'm supposed to do all this karma, I couldn't do all this, what a useless character I am. That is a problematic ahankara. The low self-esteem ahankara is a problem. The superior ahankara is also a problem. Both lack a healthy self-esteem. That's necessary to understand Vedanta. Objectivity in karma is very, very important. Because as a human being, you can't help doing karma. No? You have to live. You have to achieve. You have to get things done. So, in all this, what happens to your moksha? वो क्या होता है? You will ask, what is that? Some of it may be your responsibilities. We are not denying that also. True. You can't avoid your responsibilities. I accept that. I didn't. But because I have responsibilities, can jnanam take a back seat? Occasionally, yes, here and there on a given day or a phase. Few days here, few days there. That's understandable. That's understandable because the responsibilities are like that. You miss a class, you miss a camp, okay, fine. But if it's happening consistently, what does that show? Your moksha is only a shubhecha. I want it. Vidyarthi. Not even Antevasi. Sishya bahu duram. This is a corollary of all that Sureshwar has been saying, okay? One has to understand it in the context of our lives. Yeah, all right. Okay, therefore something that is born of karma cannot negate karma. All right, now it is an ardhangikara. What's an ardhangikara? For the time being, I am accepting my opponent's argument. Not that I am really accepting it, but for a standpoint I am accepting it. For discussion's sake, for argument's sake, I am accepting it. And then he proves it wrong. How? Look at it. Karma karyatva abhyugame api doshaha eva. Even if I accept karmanaha moksha, there will be a lot of problems in it, he says. How? How will there be problems? Now he is not using the finite argument, etc. He is examining the karma itself and answering it. Now, all right, karmanaha moksha. Veda has got lot of karmas in it. Huh? Both karma. Okay? So he says, एकेन वा बहुन्मुक्तिः यदि वा सर्वकामभिः प्रत्येकं चेद् वृथा अन्यानि सर्वोऽप्यपि एककर्मताम्. All right. I'll accept. Chalo. Karmanaha muktihi. Which karma? Which one karma will give me moksha? You tell me that. Because you're saying karmana. Then tell me na. मैं वो कर लेगा. एक है ना. भवेन मुक्तिहि. And if by one karma you're going to gain moksha, what happened to all the other karma? Useless. Because by this karma I am getting it. फिर वो सब क्यों करने का? Right or wrong? Whatever necessary, one karma. So whatever sides etc. are there, fine. What about all the other karmas? Useless. Correct or not? You're not going to give me moksha. No, you can't do that. Because whole Veda is important. Therefore, sarvebhyaha. Okay? The sarvebhyaha, I must do all karmas. Then all the karmas will have to be treated like one karma. Eka karmata it is called. Like eka vakyata. What is eka vakyata in Vedanta? What is one sentence in Vedanta that covers all Vedanta?
Mahavakya.
The Mahavakya. So similarly in Veda there is something called eka vakyata. A whole group of sentences covering one karma. Like Agnihotram. So all the things associated with that, Agnihotrena Yajeta, that become Ekavakya. Now if you are saying all the karmas together are going to give me moksha, then what? Are you saying there is only one karma then in the Veda? Ekavakyata. So Eka Karmata. That's not acceptable. Why? Because different karmas give me different results. How will a putra kameshti and a karma for going to heaven or for karma to give me become a chakravarti, how all of them together is going to give me moksha? Are you getting the idea? So tell me which. If one karma, others are useless. If all karmas together, how? Then your whole basis for separate karma is gone. Your basis for separate karma is completely gone. Not only that, can one person do all the karmas? A grahastha cannot do a chaturmasya. Chaturmasya is meant for the vani. Or the Vividisha sannyasi, not for the grahastha. Samidadhanam is meant for the brahmachari, not for the grahastha. Because karmas are governed by ashrama dharmas also. Varna dharma, ashrama dharma, varna dharma also. Can a Brahmana do what a Kshatriya? The Ghora karma I can't do, Baba. How can I sacrifice a goat? Kshatriya will look and say, I sacrifice human beings in the battlefield. We don't play holy with colors. We play holy with blood. So, tell me, how is one person going to do all the karmas? Because for each karma there is a qualification. For certain karmas you have to be married. For certain karma you have to be single. So how can all be karmas be done by one person? Therefore all karmas together can't give me moksha. And if any one karma gives me moksha, you tell me what it is. Which karma will give me moksha? I will do that. All other karmas are useless. Are you seeing the argument? This is accepting karmana moksha, which itself is not totally acceptable, but for argument's sake we are accepting it. For argument's sake only we have accepted it. All right. No, I'll tell you that. Here. Who be hai? सर्व प्रकारणस्यापि कर्मणः उत्पत्तिः एव विशिष्ट साध्य अभिसंधानाच्च परिशेष न्याय असिद्धिः. Yeah, this is what we just said. That sarva prakarasya karma, all karmas if you are taking, utpatti swa vishishta sadhya. There has to be special qualification for each of them. Okay? As well with your own specific result. Therefore, parishesha nyaya asiddhi. That the residual result is moksha. You do all the karmas. And all karmas have each goals. You leave all of them out. What is stated where there is no special fruit mentioned, that karma will give you moksha. Putra kamishti will give you putra. Swargishtaha will give you swarga. Chaturmasya will give you its phalam. Okay? What will give me moksha? Where no specific result is mentioned. Says that is not also applicable. Nitya Naimitika karmas, there is no special result mentioned. So, Nitya Naimitika karmas will give me moksha. Therefore, I won't do Kami karma, etc. I will do only Nitya Naimitika karma. Okay, let us look at that. He says, Durikta Shapanartatvat न नित्यम स्याद विमुक्तये स्वर्गादि फल संभवाद न काम्यम कर्म तथैव च. When you do nitya naimitika karma, when you do your sandhya vandanam, starting with sandhya vandanam ityadi, what is the sankalpa? Parameshwara prithiyartham, durita kshayartham. Therefore, the goal is very clear, na? Duritas in your mind should be negated by this karma. Durita kshayartham. My daily feeling of small hurt, small pain, small guilt, etc., all those nonsense of living, that I pick up the garbage, the bhusa I pick up in my head through day-to-day living by prayer to the Lord. Lord, please take care of it. Therefore, durita kshayam. So the goal is very clear. Who said result is not mentioned? In the sankalpa, the result is implied. In nitya naimitika karmas, in the sankalpa itself, the result is implied. In fact, not implied, is stated. Separately, phalam may not be mentioned, but the purpose is said right there in the sankalpa. Therefore, he says, okay, durita kshayartva na nityam syad vimuktahi. Therefore, nitya karmas will not directly give you mukti. It may give you a mind that can gain knowledge. That's okay. In fact, that's why we do nitya naimitika karmas. No? So, no guilt, no this thing. I have done everything I should do. Nothing to hold me back. Feel clean. Nitya naimitika is only that. And not that we do all nitya naimitikas. Okay. One naimitikam. A relative dies. Should we go there or not go there? Some relative of yours has died. जाना है कि नहीं जाना है? जाना है ना? नैमित्तिकम. I am not going. My nephew has died. Sudden death. Why are you not going? Because I will be useless there. I have a class. I will be useful here. So after class you will go? No. I will go after the rites etc. are over, when I can bring help and solace to the parents. Parents are still alive. Parents are my cousins. So that time I will go. Why? My nitya naimitika karma has to be what? Purposeful. It has to be helpful. I am not going to mark attendance. that you can go for a wedding. Reception सब जाता है, सबका फोटो लेता है. हाँ ये आया है. And olden days we used to keep track. How much did they give us in the cover? We will keep track of that because we have to reciprocate appropriately when his child gets married. Yeah. So what I do has to be effective. My effectivity will depend not today, after a week, when all the karmas and etc. are over, then. Are you getting the idea? But everything is purposeful. There is nothing without purpose. Nothing without purpose. And all purpose is finite. No? Other than moksha, every purpose is finite. That is why in every purpose action is necessary. Because they are finite results. Therefore, those actions cannot take care of moksha, which is limitless. Making very powerful arguments. It looks very simple. They are very, very powerful arguments. Okay. Therefore, and all right. Therefore, your nitya naimitika karmas will not give you moksha. What about other karmas? He says, swargadi phala sambandha kamyam karma tataiva cha. Kamya karma. Other thing well left is what? Kamya karma. Kamya karma will not give you moksha. Why? Because each karma is meant for a given karma. No? I want wealth. I want a partner in life. I want to go to heaven. I want to get rid of a partner. वो भी है. Phalam for that also is there. Yeah. Yeah. That is there, okay? Let my divorce be smooth. Nobody talks about those karmas. But so, can you see the whole thing? Kamya karma is meant for all targeted kamas. Nitya naimitika karma is durita kshayartha. Which karma is there for moksha? All karmas together are not possible because, first of all, no one is qualified to do all karmas. Second, not possible also. So how are you going to say karmanaha moksha? Vedic karmas will give me moksha. Kidhar se? Yeah. This guy, not married, 80-year-old, does a putra kameshti yajna. To have a child is 80, wife is no more, but he does a putra kameshti. What will happen? How will he get the phalam? All the kids in the building will start calling him daddy. That phalam has got him. Yeah. And by the way, the qualification for getting putra kameshti, to get a putra kameshti has to be, you have to be married first. Any type of the 7 marriages mentioned in the Shastra, including Gandharvam, living together, etc. Accepted. But one of them should be there. Yeah, Karthik, you have a question.
Yes, Swamiji. So, Swamiji, my confusion is that one of the Purva Pakshas had said that, look, I am going to not do Kamya Karma, I am not going to do Nishit Karma, and I will do Nitya Naimittika Karma to take care of Pratyavaya. So, he himself was bringing the karma balance down to 0.
Exactly. So, because, therefore not karmana moksha, the Purva Paksha says, without karma you are going to get moksha. Literally it means that.
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
That's right. He himself is saying that I want to minimize my karma to bring the balance.
Many Vedantins fall for it, no?
Yes.
But at least they are studying Vedanta along with that. So, some hope is there for them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, I guess my doubt is what is being explained here is more about say Kamya Karma not giving moksha, but that Purva Paksha himself has admitted that already.
In a way, but not specifically. Not specific. Kamya karma he said, but Nitya Naimitika karma will give. Because
That
he is
was
doing
to
that consistently, no?
Yes, but that was to keep away the Pratyavaya Papa.
Exactly, because Akarne Pratyavaya.
Yes.
Then, just by Akarne Pratyavaya, how you going to, okay, I kept away a fault. I still not got the positive moksha I am looking for. No? That's why he is saying this. Yeah. And he says Nitya karma is not for Pratyavaya, it is for Durita Kshaya. See, there is a statement Akarne Pratyavaya that has to be interpreted differently. That is, if I don't do what is expected of me, the idle mind becomes a devil workshop. I will do what is not to be done. And I will pick up more and more duritas. Guilt, anger, etc. will come up. Why? I am not doing what is expected of me. I am doing what is not expected. Scrolling. You read half a dozen stories present. It's all about fighting against some injustice or the other. Stupidity, some of them. At the end of it, what happens to you? You start feeling angry and rebellious. Why? Why are you feeling angry and rebellious? Someone wrote a work of fiction. Why are you feeling angry at the end of it? Because they put a real life situation. Some father or mother not treating a child properly. Some cop abusing the law. I say some stories like this will come up. So why are you feeling angry? Because the situation real life. Everyone has said sometime or others had a sense of injustice done to them. Therefore that will get triggered off. And you end up feeling angry because you are scrolling on the phone. Durita, take care of the Durita. Pray, heal.
Swamiji,
Yeah?
Swamiji, does Nitya Naimittik karma give Chitta Shuddhi or anything? Or
It can give you Chitta Shuddhi. If done properly, it can give you Chitta Shuddhi. Some type of Chitta
Otherwise-
Shuddhi.
otherwise what Nitya Naimittik karma, which
That's
other
all.
phalam?
So what is the sankalpa? Durita Kshayartam, no? Chitta Shuddhi there is. Durita Kshayam is Chitta Shuddhi. And it won't give you all type of Chitta Shuddhi. If you have a psychological issue, it won't give me that. That has to be taken care of psychologically. Yeah.
The advantage of Nitya Naimittik karma is only Durita Kshaya.
Yes, and they're also limited. They're also limited.
But even then it is prescribed, it is almost compulsory for
It is
The
prescribed for
Vedikas.
all Vedikas.
Vaidikas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all prescribed for all Vedikas, all Sanatanis. It's prescribed, correct.
Yeah.
But there also, Durita Kshayam also is limited. My action caused the death of somebody. Then now the guilt is heavy. So I need to go to a guru or a counselor or someone and talk, no? To take care of that guilt. Just praying will not be enough. Doing Sandhya Gayatri Japa alone will not be enough for that. That will have to be strengthened because this is something special that has happened in your life. Away from the normal. So that will require its own actions, its own care. General Durita, yes, will be taken care of. The Duritas that come out of just living, what you call the daily frictions of life. You know, small things.
Yeah.
Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law stuff. थोड़ा आता है.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So these type of things will be taken care of. But major issues, because that's something special, na. That's why prayashchitam, etc. has been put in.
Swamiji, prayashchita karma do really they work? I mean, if
Yeah.
one
They work again to take care. At two levels they work. Psychological level in terms of guilt, etc. And in terms of punya papa. The papa karma is negated.
Acha.
Both levels it work.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But remember, all these are finite things. Therefore, they can be done in 100 different ways. There's more than one way of doing it. And sometimes we are carrying negative karmas from previous lifetimes also. What happens about that? So karma is meant for taking care of these things, not for moksha. And for those things it does a good job. So you can use karma in your life for all these things. Because sometimes these things that you ignore can create a problem for you. Like some ancestor has not got gati, for example. He had an untimely death, or he was killed, or he died in an accident or something. Now he has not been able to move on. Stagnant energy affecting you. No, your grandfather will never mean ill of you, will wish ill of you. But the energy is stagnant, causing something. Therefore you do tila homa, etc., etc. There are plenty of things to do. Taken care of. Fine. Then that problem gone. What about moksha? That still remains. A problem in my life is gone. Okay. Not getting married. Problems in my horoscope. So there is some ritual for it. Swayamvara Parvati Homa you did. Then all your problems started. Joking, okay. I mean, one type of problem went away. The absence of a partner, that problems that you are creating, hindering you from getting a partner, that gone. But getting a partner is always a mixed bag. No? Because Mishra Karma, I am a Mishra, the other person is also a Mishra. So you can be good for each other, we can be problematic for each other also, is it? Anyone will be. It's very rare. Woman that will walk into my house and feel happy with the Swamiji, I'll come and set it all right. That is their response. Acha. Only one student of mine from UK came home. He was in Bombay on some project. He came home, saw my house. Swamiji, I'm happy. You have a safe place to stay in. Because I was not sure what your conditions were. I was wondering how I can help you. Now I know you have a place to stay, you're safe, good locality, everything. I said, yeah, I had to just refine some things inside. She said, yeah, that has to be. The idea is, hey, that's the nature of karma. It's all Mishras. Karmana na moksha, that's the conclusion finally. That each karma is specific, meant for certain things. Even when you do Atma Shuddhi and all, it's only for mind, nothing more. Atma does not require purification. Your mind requires, yes, sometimes. Some guilt, pain, etc. Some wrong thinking. All those distortions that you carry, that you take care of. That's all. Karma can help for that. Up to that much, it's fine. Okay. Therefore, karma, tathaiva cha. Okay. There is more to this. That we will see next class. Okay. After 1 week gap. Okay. So we are not meeting on 30th. Sorry, 23rd we are not meeting. We are meeting on 30th. Okay. You need me to put it up on the group, or all of you will remember that? Okay. No class on 23rd Sunday. Class will be on 30th Sunday. Okay. So then we will decide whether it has to be on online or preferably hybrid. So I can meet some of you at least. We'll decide that. But I think by 30th, whatever people are involved with will settle down. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.